Hi, my name is Ananya, and not long ago, my seemingly perfect life turned into a nightmare. It all began when I was working as a financial analyst at a renowned stock exchange firm in Delhi. I loved my job, it was thrilling, fast-paced, and rewarding. I also had a close friend at work, Meera, who was like my sister. Back home, I had my fiancé, Kabir, who I thought was my forever. My life seemed flawless, until it wasn't. Kabir and I had been together for years. He was caring and protective, but over time, his protectiveness turned into obsessive behavior. He began calling and texting me incessantly, questioning why I stayed late at work and why I wasn't spending more time with him. Initially, I thought it was because he loved me, but his constant suspicion started to suffocate me. Around the same time, Meera began acting strange. She started coming to work in luxury cars, wearing designer outfits, and flaunting an extravagant lifestyle that didn't match her modest salary. When I asked her about it, she smiled mysteriously and said, "I'll tell you when the time is right." Her evasive response left me uneasy. One day, when Meera was away, curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to check her office. I felt guilty snooping, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. After searching for a while, I found a document that made my heart sink. Meera had been embezzling money from clients. It wasn't small amounts. She had stolen lakhs. What shocked me more was seeing my name and bank details on the list. I wasn't even her client, yet she had been stealing from me too. Without hesitation, I took the evidence to my boss. An investigation was launched, and the next day, the police arrested Meera at work. As she was being taken away, she glared at me and shouted, "You'll regret this, Ananya. I'll make you pay." Her words chilled me, but I convinced myself it was over. But it wasn't. A few days later, while walking home from work, I noticed a tall, intimidating man dressed in black following me. At first, I thought I was imagining things, but when I crossed the street, he crossed too. My heart pounded as I quickened my pace, but he matched my steps. In my panic, I took a wrong turn into a dark alley, hoping to lose him. Instead, I found myself cornered. Desperate, I tried to squeeze under a chain-link fence, but my hips got stuck. Struggling with all my might, I finally broke free, tearing my shirt in the process. Embarrassed and terrified, I rushed home to Kabir, hoping he would comfort me. To my shock, Kabir didn't console me. Instead, he started yelling, questioning why my shirt was torn. Flustered, I made up a ridiculous excuse about being attacked by a stray animal, which only made him angrier. That night, I felt completely alone. The next day, my boss sent me to a conference in Jaipur. I saw it as an opportunity to escape the chaos, but the conference turned into another nightmare. People avoided me like I had a contagious disease. By the second day, I couldn't take it anymore and cornered a colleague to ask why everyone was acting so strangely. She hesitated before whispering, "He told us to stay away from you. He said you're dangerous and can't be trusted." When I asked who he was, she pointed to the courtyard. There, sitting casually, was the same man who had followed me in the alley. My blood ran cold. How had he followed me all the way to Jaipur? I rushed back to my hotel room and locked the door. As I lay down on the bed, I felt something hard inside the pillow. Curious, I unzipped it and found a hidden microphone. Trembling, I searched the room and found more microphones and even tiny cameras. Someone was spying on me. Panicked, I ran to the hotel manager and called the police. When they arrived and searched the room, there was nothing there. The devices I had found had vanished. The police thought I was hallucinating, and that's when I broke down. Hysterical, I begged them to believe me, but instead, they called a medical team. Within hours, I was handcuffed and taken to a psychiatric facility. Locked in a sterile white room, I felt hopeless. Desperate to prove I wasn't crazy, I escaped the facility and traveled to the prison where Meera was being held. I was sure she was behind everything. When she saw me, she smirked and mocked me, but when I accused her of sending the stalker, her expression changed. She swore she had nothing to do with it. She admitted she hated me for turning her in, but she had no way to orchestrate such a plan from jail. If Meera wasn't behind it, then who was? I left the prison feeling defeated and called Kabir. He sounded unusually cheerful and said he had a surprise for me. As I poured out everything that had happened, I heard a subway announcement in the background. It was from Jaipur. Kabir was in the same city as me. I rushed back to my hotel, only to freeze in horror when I saw the stalker standing outside my door. To my shock, Kabir stepped out of the room behind him, holding wires and cameras. The truth hit me like a thunderbolt. Kabir was behind everything. He confessed that he had hired the stalker because he thought I was cheating on him. When I caught on, he escalated his plan, bugging my room and isolating me at the conference. He even convinced my colleagues to avoid me, ensuring I wouldn't get close to anyone. I was shattered. The man I loved and trusted had jeopardized my safety and sanity because of his insecurities. I ended things with Kabir on the spot and returned to Delhi to rebuild my life. Losing him was painful, but I knew I deserved better.